Hello, 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 hello.
Oh, good day, mate. Another shrimp on the barbie for you. This is me, Benny. Did that work?
Let's mute that guy.
The man of the hour is here. Welcome, Benny.
Hello, good evening.
See, I wasn't that far off, Pete. I could have pulled a good Benny. Good night, mate.
Hello. Yeah, g'day. How you going? Every time I hear Australians,
We lost you, Benny.
always got a problem with the net. I should be okay now. Are we good?
Yep,
Yeah,
you're good.
sounds like it.
Vietnam banning internet. Yeah, actually, there's been a lot of talk about a lot of people banning a lot of stuff this week. I've been trying to keep up with it all. But what about you guys? What's new in the world of your world?
In my world,
Apparently, there's a lot
my
of
world's the
questions.
same as your world.
Not the same as mine.
No, mine is exactly the same as yours.
You live in the same world. I got told there's lots of questions tonight. RFOX world is our world. Oh, that's nice to hear, George74. Did anyone come to the? Did anyone come to the Twitter Spaces? That was the first time I've done a Twitter Spaces.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting to listen to.
Oh, good. I hear a gamer. I thought it was good. You know what? I really like these how these people sort of put together these communities and listen to where they come from and all the rest of it. Yeah, it's good. They're doing God's work. Is Vietnam friendly for crypto? Actually, here a gamer. If you do a bit of research this week, Vietnam's basically stated that they're going to start doing some trials, and they're looking at becoming extremely crypto friendly. The president here and the minister of for technology had basically said that they'd missed out on the .com boom, and they weren't going to miss out on this movement. They're going to really give it. Yeah, well, really small amount of subs, that's for sure. What interesting things did you hear in that? Well, it was actually an interview, Hero Gamer. So they asked about where I came from, and they asked about the project, and they asked about ventures. We got talking a bit about virtual spaces, some of the stuff that VR could bring about, and yeah, it was interesting. Tell them to think about invest in Chauncey coin. Nice plug there, mate. Gralek, that's about the 5th time I've been asked that question today. Binance getting under pressure. Do we have a risk with being on Binance Smart Chain? I think the honest answer to that is there's a few investigations going on, and I think those investigations are going to get more deeper and deeper. Yes, I don't think there's any problem with being on BSC, and I think the thing is that we are obviously multi-chain. We're very considerate of the fact that there is no such thing as a clear winner and a certainty. So we are making sure that we are 100% everywhere. UK and CA bans. What's your favourite question and highlight for the AMA on Twitter Spaces today? I think anything where people talk about how VR and AR, and how I'm really interested to hear how, when you start to explain how life is in Southeast Asia compared to the rest of the world, it's very interesting to hear the way things go in different countries, and how the world's sort of all been affected in different ways through the last year or two. So interesting to hear where people think that VR and some of the technology that we're building out will really impact, you know, the industry sectors that we're building out in. And I think that one of the best learnings for me from this morning was the more we talk about the whole model and we explain it, we're getting better and better, obviously, articulating it in a more succinct way. But most people are very surprised when they hear what it is that we're actually doing, and they sort of say, well, how come we didn't know about that? But predominantly people are very excited about what we're doing and start to understand the magnitude of what it is that we're doing as well. Something we're reminded of internally every single day. It's a massive task and a massive ask what we're building. We'll be doing more Twitter Spaces. I think you can tweet out when you're going to do it, and people can press set on reminder. Actually, Hero Gamer, the thing is that you also we get approached by a lot of people. These guys turned out to be really awesome and did a great job, but we don't quite often know who the people that have asked us or invite us, who they are. So it's very important that we try and make sure that we're getting recordings, that those recordings are made available to people, and that people can watch in their own time, but we never know ahead of time what they're going to be like. Who was interviewing you and how did this interview come about? Much the same way as most. They inboxed me and said, hi, we've got a show, want to talk. Would you like to come on? You saying we could switch to ETH? We're already based on ETH, as you know. We are definitely able. I don't know how to answer that, Pete. I think
we are on ETH. We started on ETH. We got Kogs on ETH, and yeah, we'll still continue to be on ETH, I guess. We never left.
Yeah. I was. We've got plans to do more on ETH as well.
Okay, that one you can end there. That's it. You can stop there.
I'm not going to go any further than that. What do I think about Axie's performance lately? Gralik, you got to take your hat off to them. Those guys have had a really long-term vision, and I think they've spoken about it. They had some dark days, as every project does when it first starts up. And credit to those guys, they battled through. They've been fired at from every direction, and they've built something that's amazing. And you know what? The more people that get into it, the more people have an opinion of it based on whatever they see. But if you trace back to the original starting point of their journey, what they've built, what they've done together, what they've overcome, the markets that they've gone through, and the fact that they've stuck to what they're doing and they've never been defeated. Doesn't matter if they've got challenges. It doesn't matter if there's issues from time to time. They've built something that many others will aspire to try and copy over the coming years, and I think they have to be congratulated for what they've done. I think they've done a tremendous job. Yeah, for sure, Ramses. I think they've made a lot of people rich in the process as well, which is great. You get in early on these projects, and especially before a game comes in. Hint, hint. You get in on a game before the play to earn starts, and you can do pretty well, can't you? Matt the Vulture. With the recent move to BSC, it's got a lot of people used to the low gas fees. Does RedFOX Labs have a layer 2 scaling solution in mind going forward to continue their work on Ethereum? The answer to that, my friend, is yes, and it's probably going to be sooner rather than later.
That's also a loaded question.
I'll get to stop. I'm not talking. Nothing to see here. Please disperse. What about future credit card sales? Chauncey, we did announce that we were going to do something with credit card last time, and the credit card structure or system wasn't working to a point where we were comfortable with releasing it from a experience perspective. So even though the solution was there and available to us, we had tested it and we decided not to proceed with it at that particular point in time. Doesn't mean that we won't for future stuff. I think we have to, obviously, but definitely will have for sure. I think that's fair, Pete. I never said anything bad. Right?
Yeah, you're good.
That's the truth. is our biggest competitor in the crypto space or in the non-crypto space right now? And what about in the future? That's a great question. I think this is not to sound arrogant or overly ambitious, but I think take the individual sectors that we're focusing on and then think of the biggest player in each of those sectors, and that's our competitor. We are proudly a very, very ambitious lot, and we want to make sure that we dominate in the sectors that we're in. And I think that we've got quite a few personalities on the team that will not accept coming second and will not accept being defeated. I've got some people that I've worked with for such a long period of time. I think, Wade, are you on this call? I think I've worked with Wade for 2 decades, longer than 2 decades. And I think that one thing that I can say is we've got a few people on this team that do not quit and they will not because we're number one. So I think our biggest competitors at the moment are in the crypto space, but our biggest competitors will be traditional industries very shortly. If there was a problem with BSC, would that affect VFOX? If there was a problem with BSC that looked like it was going to affect our ability to stay on the chain, we'd take care of it immediately, XP. We're not going to screw around with sacrificing long-term plans or vision because someone's technology platform causes us issues. We will move around it, and we will have no qualms in doing that, and have no apologies to be made as well. If we have to move from something, never complain, never explain. We'll just move, mate, and we'll make sure that no one's loses out long term. I've lost the context of that one, Grelic. They're also launching an extra arm, I've heard. Hopefully the new ETH London fork fixes the issue. Yep. In my opinion, it shows that properly implemented play to earn can counteract even the negative sentiment around being over a year behind. Ramses, I'll tell you one thing that's for sure and certain, as you know very well, and that is if money comes in to an investor, it's if the right implementation happened, and that was the cause of a delay, or the delay meant that a further investment upswing happened as a result, you will get very few complaints. Kucoin release sidechain. I don't know. I mean, you know what? Kucoin and Huobi, we've been approached about doing stuff on both of the chains. Let me ask you a question. Why do you think that happens? There's a little question for you guys. I'll get in trouble, aren't I? Because these things get recorded. I'll have a long laundry list of things to listen to when I get wrapped across the knuckles, won't I? I think exchanges also understand that they're dead men walking and that they're limited in their options and they're pretty one-dimensional in the way they make money. And I think that they have realized, hey, we can release chains and release NFTs and okay, I'll shut up now. You're moving your RFOX back to ETH. If you needed to move your RFOX back to ETH, Grelic, I would 100% for sure and certain I'd tell you. A question from Tom Vassetti. Any idea if there's the potential for scholarship projects like in Axie Infinity? That stuff's still being worked out, Crypto J, but there's a lot of fine-tuning going on now. Again, I like to let Fads answer those games-based questions, but lots of time and effort has been putting into the play to earn and the gaming side of things, and I can say that lots of exciting developments are happening behind the scenes that I'll let him talk to you about once they all come off. On the Kogs site under Games tab, it has Cog Slam and coming soon. What is coming soon? The Slam game is coming.
That's the new game. No, there's a new game called Coming Soon. That's the title of the game.
Right. Okay. China, why you been approached by Kucoin and Huobi? The chains are looking for projects, especially multi-chain aimed projects that could potentially say that you think about it, what an endorsement it is if you've built NFTs on, say, for example, Wax or Binance or Ethereum, and you say, we're also going to be launching stuff on Huobi chain or Kucoin chain. It's a massive endorsement for these guys, and they're looking for projects that will. That's a better endorsement than a project starting up on those chains, right? That doesn't have any history or record. So they're looking for it's as simple as that. And they're also using some of them are using it as leverage. If you build a project on our chain, we will list you. Solana, some are coming for RFOX. Zadik, I don't want to talk too much about it, but I can tell you that we are going to start giving, as I said, more granular updates on the projects that we've got. And Pete, correct me if I'm wrong or I'm saying too much, but all I can say is that even our own internal team are still learning about that. But the white label NFT platform that we're building is being built as a box, as you know, to integrate or be able to integrate with any tech platform. That is the long-term goal and vision. In the first iterations, it will be a few chains, but ultimately Solana and DOT and all of those types of chains, it is not beyond the realms of possibility for them to be integrated, as is the style of the build.
Yeah, I've been reading about Solana, so if that's a hint or whatever, take it as it is. But I've been reading about Solana.
Yeah, so the short answer as well, Zadik, is we did say that we were building a tech agnostic white labeled NFT platform, and we are very pleased to say that is progressing very well now. Benny, since you're feeling very generous in sharing things with us tonight, I'm always generous with sharing stuff. If Marvel Disney are the next company partnering with RedFOX Labs, please don't mute him, Pete. Seriously, though, any chance that you'll be able to share with us any news of the new partnerships in the works? I think that you're not going to have to be suffering for much longer for the next announcement. So there's a couple of the partnerships that we're working on now that are actually at the point where we're finalizing the details so that we can. Got a bit of reverb there. So we're finalizing the details so that we can announce them, mate. And like I said to you, some of the stuff that we're working on, you couldn't guess if you tried. Is the land sale still ongoing to be possible by purchasing RFOX from exchanges? How are the team looking to deal with this, and have there been any changes to this plan? Haven't been any changes at this stage, OJ. We're still looking at that to be the case. Yes. And what we did was I think I can just say that we're really starting to have a very strong internal focus on making sure that everybody, as we grow, understands the internal values, and we're sticking to our core values. We've got 5 core values, and as part of that, what we've realized as well is that we're better to increase the transparency, focus on exactly what it is that we're doing, talk about what it is that we've done as opposed to what's coming next. Because what we've realized is that already things were very heavily reliant on third parties or tech being delivered, and this was something that was already a challenge. And now that we're not building linearly anymore and we're building it all together, what this has meant is that as a team, we want to be extremely accountable. We want to make sure that we're committed to making sure we hit deadlines and we meet target rollouts. So what we've done is we've sat down and said, now that we've extended our scope, made it harder for ourselves, and we've taken on more, we've really started to bring on some very, very qualified outside resources, more people into our team. And what we're doing now is we're very heavily focused on providing clearer, more quantifiable milestones that we can be sure that we're going to hit based on very, very granular detail that we're putting down. So we're really starting to level up our professionalism as far as making sure that we're able to deliver exactly, and that the dependency on the outside parties just becomes less of a factor. Have I said that right?
No, yeah, you did, but I think I'm not sure if that the question is about getting RFOX from exchanges. The way I think we'll be doing this is most probably going to be like decentralized, where you need your RFOX on MetaMask or some wallet, not on the exchanges. If the RFOX is on the exchange, you gotta pull it out because we can't access RFOX on exchanges.
Yep. Oh, and just on that as well, because I've got a DM as well from someone saying, if you're worried about exchanges, how will this pan out for RFOX utility? So I think it's also fair to say that we're working directly with ways for you to be able to how do I say it nicely, Pete? Get in and out of RFOX. We're going straight to the sources rather than always relying on exchanges as well. Putting our destiny in our hands, so we're also making sure that people can get in and out of RFOX, which is extremely important when you're play to earn as well.
Yeah. So the thing about exchanges is, I mean, if we have it on an exchange, that means they're only limited to the people on the exchange, and that, where else having it like in MetaMask allows anybody from anywhere to participate, and we're all about digital inclusion. So if let's say we did it on Liquid, there's a big population out there in the world that cannot participate, which is why we're not going to do like land sale on Liquid, because it's just gonna cut out a bunch of people, right? I know for a fact like the US people can't participate, but if we do it via MetaMask on a decentralized platform, then everyone can participate, as long as you got MetaMask, right? Obviously, which anyone can, as long as you have a phone or a computer. If you don't have that, then I cannot see anything, right?
Yep, exactly. Owen asks, in reference to the Vault, what good is having VR if your core target audience SEO region can't afford a headset to experience? Awesome question, Owen. He's not here, obviously, I don't think. Crypto J, here's the answer. What good is having a Starbucks in a place that when you're paying $6 for a coffee when a local coffee costs 15 cents? Fact is, with the VR and with the more people that start to use it and the more it becomes adopted, the cheaper the actual headsets become and the more accessible the technology is. When I did the rollout of Ooredoo in Myanmar, people said, you're not going to be able to get people to buy smartphones, and people can't afford it, and they're never going to be able to afford the data. And what happened was they ended up having tons of $17 and $18 smartphones hit the market from China to cater for the new demand. And the technology evolved extremely quickly to keep up with the millions and millions of people that were demanding it. So I would say the short answer to that is I would think you're underestimating how quickly the headsets will become affordable when the demand is there. Build the roads and the cars will come. When will you be able to tube 3rd edition? I'll have to leave that for the game team. Or Pete, maybe you can answer if you know.
Once I get the artwork for the tubes.
It is something that's coming, though, that's for sure. PJ asks, how can Kogs be an attractive moneymaker for players, yet also net bring in more money for RFOX than it pays out? Cheers. Actually, we talk about that a lot, Crypto J. It's a great question. There was an example that we talked about today where someone had done a play to earn game. Let's just say, for example, that they chose to do it in, and I'm just using this as an example, Philippines and Indonesia. They're two of our big target markets. People said, if you allowed or introduced a play to earn mechanism for Philippines and Indonesia, for example, what would happen, and I'm using our situation in Kogs as an example, people that are in other markets would buy Kogs, for example, because they know that the people in the play to earn markets would be buying them. So the opportunities extend well beyond those borders. But how can Kogs be an attractive money maker for players? the thing is, it's the same with Axies or with any of these types of NFTs. If there is a requirement to have minimum amounts or certain types to be able to get entry to tournaments, the value goes up because there isn't a hell of a lot of them. You look back to the first edition, and I think there's only 175,000 in circulation of 200,000 in total or thereabouts. There's not a lot of Kogs out there, and there's going to be a requirement of having a fair few to be able to complete sets and to play. So I think you look at Axie's type of demand. I'm not trying to say that we're going to be like Axie straight away as far as player numbers are concerned, but I'm saying if you look at the number of Kogs that you would be required to have to play in some of these situations versus the number that are out in the market, you don't have enough fingers and toes to do the math on that one. There's not enough Kogs. What will happen towards the back end of the staking farming window? Specifics appreciated. Yeah, so Matt, I presume you're talking about just in VFOX in general. The answer to that, quite simply, is that we didn't build RFOX.Finance to just be for this staking and farming. We built it for longer term, and as stated, we do try to model things on successful models. We have a 9-point funnel system, and in the beginning, we sat down and said that we liked the Ping An model. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's better to Google it than me explain it, because it's quite a complex model, but it ultimately started out like an aggregator for insurance and finance, and it's now offers collateral, loans, insurance, all sorts of finance products. And we definitely have an opportunity to provide that DeFi arm. So I was talking about that this morning, actually, in the interview, and people had said, surely you must have, we get asked a lot, surely you must have other projects that are wanting to work with you on the farm. And I say, yes, but we've also got to be very mindful of, we want to bring a GM in to take that further. That's what we're looking for, to build out the product line with a very clear end goal in mind. And ultimately, we also have to be careful who we work with. A lot of the projects that are in the space, especially in the farming side of things, are anonymous. So that's also a bit of a consideration to take into, or something to take into consideration as well, is that we're not anonymous, we're not faceless, we're real people, exposed, open, and here and present and accountable. So we've got to be very careful on how we vet and decide who we work with as well. But the specifics to that would be there will be more coming. We wouldn't be worrying about creating new designs and upgrading the site if it was just something we were going to throw away and done. So that we plan for that to be extended out greatly. The answer for a lot of projects is to foster an extremely healthy secondary market and continue to collect commission on those sales. Yeah, for sure, Ramses, and I think that the secondary market is going to be extremely important for us, especially once play to earn kicks in. I think you're going to see, and you can already tell now, this now that people know that the play to earn is coming, the dynamics of working out what might be required or should be required is pretty simple. And you're seeing, if you look at the patterns of what people are buying, especially people that have been around in the Axie communities that are here, I've learned a lot. I've been watching what people are buying, and it's clear that these people know what they're doing. But he says more rewards based on how much skin you have in the game. Recollection size works well. Axies already gates energy by the size of your Axie collection, and for AXS rewards coming soon, your portion of the breeding fees will be related to how much AXS is staked in your wallet, as well as how much you actually play. Yeah, super important, and I think that's one of the parts where we will do well, is understanding the dynamics and the being able to implement things based on customer behaviour is something that we're good at. Is RFOX supply capped? Yep, sure is. It sure is. seems to be printed into oblivion. ETH, yeah, not the same, Hero Gamer. We've got a 2 billion maximum supply, and we've actually burned. As of last week, it was 11.6 million just in this last little period. So we've got a 2 billion supply cannot be increased. Yeah, 2 billion minus burn. Oh, you're answering that. Sorry, I'm a bit behind. My get rich plan on ETH failed. Back to flipping burgers at McDonald's. Really? You had a get rich plan on ETH? I think Rplanet have done. We saw the ads in the beginning, and I know a lot of people were saying, "Oh, what's this?" But they've certainly got a presence, haven't they?
Yeah, Benny, I think you crashed the Ether market when you sold all the Ether for X.
Don't tell people that. Yes, I probably did crash the Ether market.
What? That was you? You son of a...
Let me tell you something. I actually, yes, well, people know my wallet. I did a bit of research, and I had a look at what was coming, and I watched the ads, and I researched, and that's what you should be doing, your due diligence. And I realized that Tribal Books and a couple of the others would obviously have high yields in the beginning. So I made sure that when they were very cheap, I bought the ones that shouldn't have been that cheap with what was obviously coming, and I'm able to mine ETH at a ridiculous rate of knots. Ridiculous rate of knots. Is there a release date confirmed for Kogs Slam? It hasn't been announced yet, but yeah, I can't ruin the thunder. I've got to let Fads tell you on Friday what's happening. 600,000 a day in secondary market fees. Yeah, not bad, is it? Not too shabby. Community member asks, Kieran Warwick touched on earning yield from assets earned in a game, whether it's in the form of NFT or a token. For RedFOX Labs, this is RFOX.Finance. Are there strategies currently being worked on in relation to this? And what does it look like for RFOX.Finance in its infant stages, taking its first step and opening doors to other ventures? Yeah. What's the best way to tackle that? Be opening its door to other ventures 100%. We, as you know, we want to make sure that the whole ecosystem is interoperable. So whatever happens with finance exchange, exchanging, swapping tools, currencies, through currencies, collateral, you've got to also understand that we're looking at digital inclusion here in the Southeast Asian region, and a lot of these people that are going to be end users, a lot of these next generations aren't going to know banks like we knew banks. A lot of these people are going to have their mobile phone be their everything, and this whole space is changing very, very quickly. And I think that the path of exactly what it will look like down the track is still being very much defined, both through technology and regulation. So RFOX.Finance, I think, will morph into becoming something very important for us, especially from the transaction and currency perspective going forwards. How is hiring for the finance arm going? Slowly, but it's going. When you hire for a venture, especially once you've actually launched it, it's extremely important that you get that right. We took a while with games, and I think it's not something that you just go through the turmoil and the headaches and the pain that you go through to get something off the ground to then just flippantly just whack someone on it like a sticker. We'll let you know as soon as we find someone, though. We've actually had a few good hires this week as well, right? We'll have to announce some of those. Will there be a referral program of some sort for the Slam game? Here again, we're looking at whatever we do, we look at doing ecosystem wide, and we have talked about referrals in a number of different ways. And I think that you'll see that there'll be an overarching reward structure, or we talk about cashback and rewards and loyalty, where, as stated last week, we're moving quickly towards having a federated login and one login, so that everything is combined and that there is something that's overarching. So I'll update you very shortly on that. I'm not an Aether OG or a genuine whale. I just farm at a rapid rate of knots. Sometimes I don't go in there for a while, then I come back and there's like 20 million of them sitting there, and I think, well, that's all right. I sold my Aether once or twice a day, so dodged the bullet there. Since the drop, though, I've collected enough to start uplifting my land. That was Pete wasn't serious, were you, Pete? You weren't serious about me crashing the market.
No, I was not. I think
No.
what you did was just a blip. Didn't affect it at all.
No, not at all. Uplifting my land. Yeah, I don't know. I got asked that a couple times today. I think I've talked to you, Rams, as well. People have been offering me, and people have been asking me all about, like for trades, I mean, for uplift land. I don't know, maybe you can tell us, Chris. I think the uplift land, someone said there's a snapshot or something today for land. I don't know much about it. I was trying to read about it. I think I don't understand. I think if you've got a card, you get a snapshot and they issue you a land or something. Maybe you can tell us. We advertise Kogs Slam and play to earn on Rplanet banner. Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to ask the marketing powers that be. Fads is so tight-lipped, though. Well, you can't blame him. The fact is that, like I told you, we've as you've noticed, we've tried to sort of lock down on talking about exact deliverables, and that's frustrating for people, understandably. But we're getting a better handle on things as far as getting closer to dates, and we've got lots of progress to be able to show you very shortly. But ultimately, again, I keep circling back to it. When you flip from building one thing after another thing after another thing and start saying, right, we're getting everything built, and that'll cause intermediate delays, but what it will mean is that we get the whole ecosystem out faster. We've needed time to be able to really sort of deduce exactly how long that's going to be and how long that's going to take. So we're still working that out. And I think I can openly say this, that the team internally, we're sick and tired of being in a situation where we feel as though deadlines are creeping up, and we think no matter what pressure, no matter what money, no matter what you do or what you throw at it, it's not going to necessarily get us over the line. So we're very, very mindful of the fact that we're better to just really, really carefully scope what it is that we're building together at the same time, how to gain efficiencies, and then more clearly communicate that to you once we've got that completely fleshed out. So getting very close now. What does a partnership look like between Illulivium and RedFOX Labs in the future? Can we expect to see walking around in the vault, capturing them like Pokemon? I don't know the answer to that, Matt.
So can I step in on that?
Yep.
Sure. So just part of our content strategy, we're getting a bunch of third-party opinions into the mix, having them as guest speakers, getting their opinions shared across the communities. So we're tapping into theirs and they're tapping into ours. But absolutely in the future, there's most likely going to be potential of deeper partnerships. But for now, it's purely a content play.
Thanks.
No worries.
It's not often I can't answer a question, and I was looking at that one going, So thank you very much. Yeah, 100%, Gralek. Like I say, sentiment and market conditions don't often marry up to crypto projects' progression, and I think it's very. I think we're very safe in saying that we firmly believe internally that we're getting closer and closer. And I say it all the time. I'm more bullish than I've ever been, and now we're starting to see some of the stuff that we're building in our hands, and that's even making me even more bullish. I've actually gone through personally, I can't speak on behalf of everybody else, going through a bit of we've gone through a frustrating period, of course, but in that frustration, and I've explained that to all the C-levels, I'm excited about it because I can see the clouds clearing, and I can see all the hard work coming to a point where we can actually see it. Hi, Ben Owen. Will we be seeing any more viewings of the vault leading into the land sale? Yes, absolutely. And will these sneak peeks be advertisements, for example, through targeted YouTube ads? The RFOX channel is pretty professional, but at the end of the day, the viewing figures are very small, and it's just us lot watching in reality. Will the media wing be up in time in order to advertise this across the broad spectrum of people before September? So there's a few questions there, mate. Yes. And Philip is here. He can probably talk to that as well. But yes, advertisements, yes. Targeted ads, yes. Understand that there's we're catering to a lot of the crowd that are already in. Get that. Now we're extending beyond that. And will the media wing be up in time in order to advertise this across a broad spectrum of people before September?
Should I step in?
Yep.
So we're underway on 2 massive productions. One studio in Asia, another studio in America, working on 2 enormously cool and very aspirational, inspirational ads. We are targeting these ads to go out to mainstream in a couple months' time, well before 1, the land sale, and 2, the overarching marketing push. Very excited about where we're going with this. I think it'll resonate with a lot of you, just in terms of hitting a core message in terms of what we're building. And when I show the updates to the other team members, everyone sort of gets goosebumps and goes, "Holy shit, this is really going to happen." So we're planning a massive campaign, and we're going to go out to the wires, and we're going to really put some gas behind it. We're going to be spending on YouTube. We're going to be spending on Twitter. We're going to be spending on mainstream. And coupled with that, we're also looking at a bunch of AR initiatives to try to break the mold. So yes, we are going to be doing a massive push. And we completely understand the concerns about, regurgitating within an inner circle. Our aspiration is obviously to grow this community and to get new audience members into the mix. And when we do that, we're going to be doing it with some really stylized, very, very top-end production. And the ads that we're working on are just mind-blowingly cool. So yeah, we're going to be going out with that in a couple weeks' time, hopefully.
And also the last part, yes, the media wing is already steps are being taken to get that off the ground now. Kogs showing up on the new marketplaces. Yeah, look, Kogs crypto slam. Yes, we've had issues with DAP radar. I don't even know how their aggregation system works. Someone can explain that. You'd be doing me a favor, because it drives me batty. We'll make sure we're really focusing on making sure that our data does show up, because we haven't got a lot of credit for what's actually happened so far. So this is something that's very, very important. How is the progress of the stablecoin coming along? Crypto J, in all honesty, we looked into it, and we are looking into it, but the fact is it's on the back burner until we've got some of these pieces in play that we need, that are much more pressing. But at some stage, we understand that we do need a stablecoin. It is not going to disappear off of our radar. It's definitely going to happen. I keep getting asked all the time, what will the mechanics be? Will it have to be that RFOX gets swapped into it and it gets locked away? It depends on which stablecoin format or method we go. We haven't decided exactly which one we will do. So all I can say to you is that we do have the right contacts. We do have the right people to help us with that. But at this particular point in time, we've just turned around and sort of said, not now. But with the play to earn and everything coming in, we don't want to make the same mistake that everybody else has made, in the sense that we don't want to have someone brand new to play to earn come in, spend $25, put that in their account, go to sleep, wake up the next morning and find out they got $14 in their account and go, oh crap, now I can't afford what I was going to buy. So there's a very pressing need for either database credits or stablecoin. And we've also got the possibility of being able to be an accepted form of payment in some of the regions that we're operating in. And that would also require us to have a stablecoin. So yes. What do you think the Bitcoin dominance will do, Benny? I don't know, mate. It's very, very hard to say. But at this particular point in time, it looks like it's at a very interesting point, that's for sure and certain. I think, 2 weeks ago I was saying we were on the fence and we're not sure what's going to happen in the market. I think it looks like we could end up very much being in a situation where the market could do what some thought was possible, and that is grind through the summer and then go bang. Looks like it. Let's wait and see. People who open free land tokens in their miner packs will have land dropped to them a couple of hours after the snapshot. Nice. That's good. Yeah, someone asked me, Chris, Francis, they asked me, I don't know why they asked me this. I got a free land token. I don't know what that means. I got a free land token. Will I also get a snapshot land? I don't know what the hell that means. What's a free land token? So if you have any miner packs left, do open them ASAP. Okay, that's good. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of people have been hedging their bets and making a lot of moves in this NFT space, and some of them have really worked out, and some of them haven't they? Am I still hearable, Pete?
Yes, only that last piece. The streaming part, I think most people didn't hear.
The streaming part, I was saying with the cashback and streaming model, yeah, someone's trying to video call at the same time. Streaming and cashback up you get with the referral programs. If you've got like an 8% cashback, we'd do 7% cashback and 1% for the referral, for example. So a model like that, so you'd get a cut for life. Did a 2-day sale starting on the 28th of June. That's a miner. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up. I'm a little bit behind still, aren't I? Any idea how many weeks, months before a new opportunity to earn yield on our RFOX will be? There'll be Ray, there'll be opportunities coming up soonish, very soon. The VFOX distribution is completed, so the payout will happen after this is something that gets asked a lot, and I've put it in the papers and videos, but I know not everybody gets time to read everything or see everything. But effectively, the whole idea of it is VFOX would finish its distribution after 5 months from the time that it started, and that means that everybody has it in their hand at the time the first payment is made, and the first payment would be based on the land sale, not transaction. It'd be based on a land sale. For the SEO, I guess you can incorporate Google Cardboard for the cheaper end of the market, maybe. How is Lei Dong traveling? Is he on board and fully committed to RedFOX Labs? Yeah, that's an interesting question. Yes, he is. He's traveling very well. He's for people that are outside of Australia or not from Australia, you wouldn't understand what probably how's Lei Dong traveling mean. Means in English or Australian slang, it means how they going. He's traveling really well, going really well. He's on board, yes, fully committed, full time, doing an amazing job. Actually, he's only been with us for a few weeks, and he's already got all of our got us nearly to a point of respectable accounting. He's done wonders. He's a breath of fresh air. He's a really, really switched on guy. He's a lovable guy as well. Really lovely guy. Really good cultural fit, and I can only speak for myself and for the people that I speak to, but everybody seems to really love him. He's a great guy. We're really, really glad he's joined us. Yeah, there are farms on Pancake. We actually have talked about farms for VFOX as well, but there's options for VFOX as well and listing options. Smartphone-based VR is a little dead though, but Quest 2 are getting super cheap. I assume cheap subsidized VR with eye tracking will come. The data is too compelling not to collect. 100%, Ramses. It's definitely coming. Well, like I was saying, when I started in Oridu, I think you could it was about $120 or something for the cheapest smartphone, and then within months it was $17. Okay, what else we got? The tokens had a chance to drop in the last slot of the pack, so yes, if they got a free land winner token opening a pack, hold on to it, they'll see land in their inventory soon. Okay, so Ramses, just for those that are asking, same land allocation as the card. Someone's asking if it's the same allocation for a card to a token. I don't know what the hell that means. Sorry, that's not explained properly. That's what it says. Is it the same land allocation for cards as a token? The hell does that mean?
Yeah, I think it's all the Rplanet stuff, so you can just ignore and just move along.
What is that? Rplanet and Uplift? They're not affiliated though, are they? I think they're completely different things, right?
They
No,
have
there's
a
some form
collaboration
of,
going right now where if you spend 5 million Aether, you can upgrade one of your lands that you have for either Swineland or Borvalis, and it will get you a free land on those servers in Uplift. The coordinates will show in the Rplanet game. If you got 5 million Aether, there's a new button for the lands that says Uplift. And that will get you a free plot on one of Uplift's servers. So there is a collaboration.
Oh, wow. I might have to take 5 million Aether out and do something with it then today, hey?
No, only if you have land on Uplift.
It'll inherently increase the value of that Rplanet land if it has that dual function. Because if there are people that are interested in both, then they know they don't have to spend it if they buy one that has it. If you're, looking at future values or things like that, especially if you build something cool or nice on it, or if you leave it untouched. Because the other thing is, in the future, untouched land is going to have value because there will be resources in it that can be extracted when a lot of the other ones have already been pillaged. Just as a gamer, I've been Minecraft player since 2009. I was original beta way back in the day. So, yeah, I mean, those things, if Uplift takes off, untouched land will be worth as much, if not more, than a land with a good plot on it, because it'll be hard to get diamonds in the future. They are limited. You can't farm them. Iron, not so much, because you can make iron golem farms, but and until they get rain on the nether, then lava will become a rare necessity, because the only way you can make obsidian in the game. So if they get the mechanics right, they'll make untouched land highly valuable in the future. Just not financial advice.
Thank you, mate. I feel like I just took a real quick trip to China or something and listened to something that I can't translate. But I hope the people that are listening understand what you're saying. I need to research a little bit more about that. But thank you very much for providing that insight. I don't care about Uplift, only RFOX made it. Well, I mean, Gralik, the land's going to be a bit different in RFOX, isn't it? It's not going to be until the local level that people are going to be able to be talking about the cheaper, whether it be food court, restaurants or something like that. But our shops are not going to be like that, that's for sure. Kids now playing Bitcoin mining game in Roblox. Kids nowadays definitely growing up in a metaverse space. Yeah, my son's exactly the same. He actually hadn't. He cracked his first like starter packs of in the 3rd edition, and in his first pack he got a bloody gold jagged edge, something or other, and he was he cried. He thought it was the best thing he'd ever got. You accept cat Kogs? Slowly descending into.
No, Ben, that was for me.
Right. Okay. Involt,
Yeah,
wondering how you.
Yeah, they're implying that I'm corruptible.
Right. Okay. There you go. Kitty Kogs. Involt, wondering how you make sure all sales go through RFOX. Can't event cheap by using QR codes to other crypto wallets. Wouldn't be much fun to them when they lose their shop, would it, Face? There'll be some pretty strict stuff in there. When you spend that much money, you're not going to want to go risk losing your shop. So we'll be making sure that all things course through. This is a massive requirement for us. So I think the blunt answer, Face, is do it at your own peril. In reference to Easter eggs through the metaverse, have the first Easter eggs been placed and how deep does it go? Easter eggs through all ventures. Matt, one of the things that we really enjoyed is we enjoyed Easter eggs, and it's something that we want to get super complicated on. And yes, there are already Easter eggs planned. Do you see high volatility of VFOX around the time of each payout? Will this cause any issues, or are there ways to counter this? There's definitely ways to counter it, Vertican. We can do it by locking periods. We can do it by additional rewards. There's lots of things that we've thought about that we can do to make sure that we counter the volatility. But as the amounts will be known prior, there definitely will be volatility, and there kind of is there is an advantage to having a little bit of game theory, that's for sure and certain. Okay, you like blunt answers, Chauncey? That's all you get with us. We're pretty. Yes. The RFOX burns are still happening. I posted an update on Twitter last week. We're up to 11,600,000. I'll get it updated by tomorrow morning for you on how many have gone across. And it is time for your DGen hour. So is there anything else that you want to ask before you, Peter, have Kogs to give away on the wheel again?
Yeah, Benny, I gotta leave. I got another call. Except 2 minutes late.
No problems.
Okay. You guys take care.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to duck off as well. But I did say to Pete that we would do this, and we will. We'll crack a pack for the 1 year anniversary as well. We're going to crack a first edition pack. We'll probably have to buy it from the market, but we'll crack a first edition pack. I had all the first edition packs we had. I gave away, and even if I did have some, I would have cracked them. I can't not crack them. What, has anyone cracked a first edition lately?
It's been a couple months. I think April.
When you cracked it in April, considering the pack prices, were you able to, if you had have sold all of the Kogs inside of the pack, would have you got your money back?
I can't imagine someone getting their money back. I didn't crack it in April. I just think that's the last time someone cracked one. There's still 750 left.
Yeah, I think someone was saying to me that they cracked 3 packs this year, which I'd have to check the stats on that. But they said that in each of the packs they were able to sell some of the Kogs in the packs and not all of the Kogs and get their money back. I guess it's possible if you're getting depends what Kogs you get. No worries, Crypto J. Look, always happy to answer questions. Just so that you do know, so that you don't get upset just before I leave. People do try and sometimes say to me, "Hey, we've got some questions that we want to get you to answer in tonight's AMA." I don't read questions prior to the AMA. I refuse to prepare. I don't ask, and I'll refuse to do an interview if people give me questions prior to the interview, including the AMAs that we do with Lenny. If I don't know the answers, then it means I don't know the business, and I need to learn the answers very quickly. So don't get offended if you send me questions and say, "Can you please tackle these questions?" I'll read them. I'll open them during the AMA in DMs, but I won't open them prior. I will not prepare answers. So thank you very much, guys. Have an awesome night. Looking forward to catching up with you again next week.
Awesome, Benny. It was great to hear you.
Thanks, mate. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. See you guys.
Take care.